baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
The frustration is starting to build on the back end of the bullpen. 2 days in a row, the green and gold have blown a save in the ninth. The A's should be taking advantage of the Blue Jays, as it is no secret their best two hitters are currently out of the lineup. Friday it was no problem as they squeaked out a win in the 15th. But yesterday, the law of averages caught up with the A's. They landed on the losing end of Game 3 in this 4-game series. Can the A's rebound? Can they take the series? The answers are next on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Beautiful day for baseball at the Coliseum. The A's trying to win the series over the Blue Jays. Tommy Milone is trying to win his 10th game. It is the final game of the series as the A's looking for momentum heading into the Angels series. It's the A's and the Blue Jays, and it is also Hyundai Sunday on Comcast Sportsnet California. It's brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Scott Hatterberg, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Couple of crazy games the last two games, and a lot of things have happened. The two common things that have happened, Scott, is home runs by the Blue Jays in the ninth against Ryan Cook.
Yeah, it's been a concern. I mean, the A's are going to be a team that's going to play in a lot of close ball games, and they're going to want to have confidence in the guy that's closing it out for them, especially this time of year when the games become really important. And he's got stuff. He's been doing it all year. He was a proven all-star, but he's given up some long balls. And the one concern you have for a guy doing that is he going to lose his confidence? And it's something you can't do. It's something you got to watch, but we got a new catching core, so there's a little bit of a learning curve kind of going on. But it's somebody they're going to really need there here in the ninth inning.
Now the pitching matchup today, a couple of lefties, Milone and Laffey, similar styles. They both have good changeups, and again, they're both left-handed.
Yeah, they're the same guy. Other than one's a rookie and one's got 4 years under his belt. But as far as repertoire, they're exactly the same. Fastballs are a tick below average. Command is going to be a huge thing for them. They each throw a cutter, similar shape on their breaking ball. Malone's got a little bit more of a chance as a swing-miss guy. He's got 97 strikeouts, but both teams, and the expectations is going to be the same. They want him to go deep in this ball game.
And the A's have made a couple of transactions. We'll talk about that, strengthening that bullpen. Again, the A's bullpen, 18 innings in the last two games. So we'll tell you about the new relievers when we get back. As Tommy Milone looking for his 10th win of the year. It's the A's and it's the Jays. And we'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back.
Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
Welcome back to the Coliseum. The A's have taken the field. It's the A's and the Blue Jays for the fourth and final time in the series, and this is the last meeting of the season between these two teams as well. Here's the game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 65 degrees, a nice day. Overcast skies right now. See if we get any sunshine later on this afternoon, but it's a comfortable day as the A's try to get a win and try to take 3 out of 4 from the Blue Jays. Bounce back from a difficult loss yesterday, 3-1 in 11 innings. So these two teams have played 26 innings in the last 2 games. Here's the lineups as they're being exchanged right now at home plate. We'll give you a look at the Blue Jays lineup. Rajai Davis slides up into the leadoff spot today, and then Anthony goes, so good speed at the top. Encarnacion will DH, Escobar at short, Johnson at second, Mathis the catcher, and then Gomes at first, Sierra in right, and Hechavarria at third.
Taking the mound for the A's today is Tommy Malone, the lefty. 9-8 on the year, 3.68 ERA. He's lost his last 2 starts, but he's hoping to get the A's deep into this ball game as they've been taxed with some extra baseball in the last 48 hours. Similar stuff to his counterpart he'll be facing today, Laffey. 2 crafty guys with 4 pitches. He's got some chances, some strikeouts. He's got 97 punch-outs. He'll try to get those hitters lost in that speed mix.
Defense for the A's this afternoon has Gomes in left, Crisp in center, Reddick in right, Inge, Rosales, Weeks, Carter with Norris behind the plate. So there's your A's defense. Tommy Malone wrapping up his warm-up tosses. So the A's bullpen Friday night, 9 innings thrown, 138 pitches. Yesterday, 9 1/3 innings, 151 pitches. So that's the situation. So the A's have done their best to rectify it, at least for today. They brought up 2 relievers, Pedro Figueroa and Evan Scribner. Griffin goes to the DL, and Michael Taylor, a quick stint with the Athletics. He's going to go back down to Sacramento. So for today, at least, Scott, the Athletics have 9 relievers. They have 5 lefties, and they have 4 righties, and they have 3 extra position players. So the A's needed the support down in that bullpen after just an incredible amount of work for the bullpen last 2 days. You just don't see that.
Some exhausted bodies down there and weary arms.
So Figueroa and Scribner are the reinforcements for today. So Malone's first pitch bit outside to Rajai Davis. So we're underway from the Coliseum. Rajai Davis hitting .261 with 6 homers and 27 runs batted in.
He's been all over that Jays lineup. Hit everywhere this series.
He's been in the lineup every game. So 3-0. Anthony Goes will be next. So the A's won on Thursday 4-1. They won on Friday 5-4 and 15. Lost yesterday 3-1 in 11. A's are going to win the season series no matter what happens, as they lead the season series 5-3. That one's drilled to left. Gomes going back, still going back. It's over his head, off the base of the wall. He plays it well, gets it in quickly, but the speedy Rajai Davis has a leadoff double.
Well, Tommy Malone fell behind from the beginning, and that's always a tough thing. You got to come right back. He throws it right down Main Street, and Rajai makes him pay for it. Absolutely clobbered that ball, and Gomes does a nice job of playing it off the wall and comes up throwing, but Rajai's just too fast. Leadoff double. Tommy's going to definitely have to work ahead.
Double number 14 for Rajai Davis, and here's Anthony Goes. Rajai Davis takes off. It's bunted, and it's going to be a fair ball. And the quick throw to first. He's out. Coming home is Rajai Davis, and he scores. Rajai Davis was running on the play, even though it was a bunt, and he never stopped.
Well, the Jays are a team that are put together to hit the long ball, but that is some small speed ball right there. Huge jump by Rajai Davis. Inge was playing in. I thought maybe Goes might pull back and let him just take the bag on his own because I think he had it. But he lays down a perfect bunt. Rajai barely slows down, sees it. Norris doesn't even look at him. He comes around third base and too fast, not in time. That was great base running right there. And that was a very nice bunt by Goes.
So it's a sacrifice fly, or not a sacrifice, a sacrifice and an RBI. Okay, could that be a planned play?
Yeah, totally can.
Get the bunt down, and I'm not going to stop running.
Well, definitely Rajai's got that in his mind. I think that it's a play that if he decided to pull back, it wouldn't have been a bad play either. I mean, if he doesn't pull back, I think he's standing, or not standing up at third, but
sure,
I don't think it's much of a play. But he does get it down. And if Inge is able to play that ball, it's a little bit of a tougher play. Like Norris, he could see the runner, so he might have been able to peek a little bit more on that one as far as seeing Rajai take the turn, but he was concerned. He knew Goes as fast. He picks it up, makes the throw without looking at third, and he's able to come home.
So Rajai Davis using that speed to get the Jays an early run. Let's see if there's any hesitation. I'm guessing no. Once he sees that throw made, then he takes off.
He was going to go. He stutter stepped just to make the read of what Norris's eyes were doing. And Norris really never took a look at it. And a lot of times as a catcher, you want to make sure you get that ball clean on that first pickup because Goes is so fast.
Batting in the fourth position.
So 2 outs for Yunel Escobar.
Yunel Escobar.
Escobar, 256 with 7 home runs, 35 runs batted in.
Five for 15 this series, doing pretty well.
And hitting in the cleanup spot. He has hit everywhere in this series. Let's see, Escobar, 5th on Thursday night. 6th on Friday. Leadoff yesterday. Cleanup spot today. So he's got it all covered. Grounds out, side retired. But Rajai Davis uses his speed to get the Blue Jays a run. 1-0. Come to bat here in the bottom of the first, and the A's lineup looks like this afternoon. Crisp, Gomes, Reddick, Cespedes, Carter, Inge, Norris, Rosales, and Weeks. So Yoenis Cespedes back in the lineup. He is the DH today.
Aaron Laffey on the hill today for the Jays. Another lefty, just like Tommy Milone. He's 2-2 on the year with a 4.20 ERA. He's looking to even the series today. Very similar stuff to Milone. I think you're going to see two clones really out there. Both have a cutter, both have a change. Command's a big thing. That fastball will be just a little bit below average.
A's saw him just last week in Toronto. It was the final game of that series, and Laffey got a no decision in a game that the Blue Jays won. Blue Jays scored a bunch of runs late against the A's and won the game 10-4. Laffey left with the A's actually winning 4-3. Gave up 4 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. 2-0 to Coco Crisp, hitting .251 with 5 home runs, 25 runs batted in. That one drops in at the knees, first strike. Two for 10 in the series for Coco Crisp. He's walked a couple of times.
Looking pretty rested.
Defensively for the Blue Jays, Davis, goes, Sierra in the outfield, Echeverria, Escobar, Johnson, Gomes on the infield. Mathis is the catcher. So again, no Brett Laurie, no Colby Rasmus. They have both left games in this series due to injury. And no Bautista, no Aaron Sebia. They're both on the disabled list.
Well, if you're the A's, you know, you want to win the series. Each series you go into, but especially this is a big one, I think, that they're playing a team that's depleted.
Yep.
And it's you're given a good opportunity to come out and beat a team, and you need to take advantage of those.
Coco swings and misses. So that's out number 1. Here's that play again, Rajai Davis. And Scott, you noticed something on Derek Norris and how he went after the baseball.
Well, as a catcher, when the ball is bunted, and if we can go back and see where the ball was bunted, typically when it's to the left side or the third base foul line, you'll go around it. And so he'll actually turn his body to have his back facing third base. And so he actually would be blind to the runner. But he did approach it properly. He went at it facing third base, kind of around it the other way. It's the longer way to first base. But that was the reason Rajai had to stutter step just a little bit.
Here's a better look.
You can see it here. Big jump by Rajai. Now, typically, you'd have gone the other way to the ball, but there he was able to look at Rajai longer. But Rajai, being so fast and read it immediately, beat the throw and beat Norris back to the base. So it was a great play by Rajai, but it was the right fundamental approach for Norris.
0-2 the count to Johnny Gomes. Our Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. When lifted to shallow center. It's going to be the shortstop Escobar who goes out in front of Goes, and that's out number 2.
Well, you can already see Laffey really trying to pull the string, change speeds, get him lost in different velocities, in different shapes. Not overpowering stuff. Really heavily going to rely on his command. Gets Gomes out front there.
So 2 outs for Reddick. So Scott, with the team playing so many innings, 15 and then 11, 26 innings in 2 days, a lot of baseball. As a player, do you feel it today? Are you dragging a little bit?
You know, these guys, and I think when you get older, physically, it takes more of a toll. These guys are a young group. I mean, it's no secret we got a lot of rookies and young guys. I think they're able to bounce back. The emotional part, the mental part, trying to pull that edge every single day for having to do that in deep innings and then quick turnarounds with the day game, that part is hard. So sometimes you'll see a kind of a slower progression into the game as far as intensity. So it's the team that can come out and be the sharpest early sometimes jumps out ahead.
So when you say edge and sharpness, you're really talking about, if nothing else, just concentrate, being able to concentrate even though you've played a lot of baseball.
In a nutshell, it's concentration. You talk to hitters, and I work with a lot of hitters. If you don't ever want to give away an at-bat, and that means you got to be into every at-bat, thinking about what you want, thinking about what he's going to do. It's easy to kind of go up there and not be 100% focused.
And don't you think that's what kids at the minor league level have to learn, and that takes a little while?
It's a tough thing to do. Some guys do it, and I think you see a lot of guys, it spills over to the dugout after a bad at bat, the emotion, because so much concentration takes place during those at bats. Red, a huge shift they're playing on him in the infield.
Fouls that one back. Reddick had a home run off Laffey in that game we talked about last week. Early in the game, first inning.
He's hitting 400 off him. He's got a little success. With the spray chart, I'm guessing his ground balls in the infield to the right side.
And he goes around, and that will do it. So a couple of strikeouts for Laffey, part of a 3-up, 3-down first inning. We're headed to the second, 1-0 Toronto. California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Proud to welcome Thomas the Tank Engine and friends. Details at roaringcamp.com. Not a bad place to be on a beautiful Sunday.
Sun's coming out on cue.
We're going to see the sun at some point soon. That's my call. 1-0 the Jays lead. Kelly Johnson to lead it off, followed by Mathis and Gomes. A couple other games we're keeping an eye on. The White Sox lead the Angels 3-2 in the 7th inning in Chicago. White Sox just grabbed the lead in that game. Texas 6, Royals 6, 7th inning in Kansas City. Johnson reaches forward a little bit. The Orioles and the Rays are scoreless in the 9th inning. That's two teams that are very close to the A's in that wild card race.
Home run here by Johnson, so he's got some damage off Mr. Malone, as Reddick does off Laffey. Same game. You can see Malone throws a lot of, he kind of pitches backward. Guys that pitch backward like to start early in the count, fastball counts with their off-speed stuff, and and use that fastball late in the count.
And that hit Johnson. So a 1-2 pitch. Hit by pitch, and Johnson is going to be aboard. So the Jays with a leadoff runner for the second inning in a row.
Looked like he tried to throw a cutter inside here. Let go of it a little early. Johnson not flinching, staying in there tight against that lefty. Takes it right off the elbow.
Number 6.
Not a bad pitch if you can execute it. It's one of those that'll freeze a lefty. One of those things a crafty guy likes to do is rely on movement. If he could throw that at him and get that late break back to the inside corner, it's not a pitch lefties can swing at.
There's Mathis. Mathis hit that 3-run homer on Friday night. So it's all his fault that we played 15 innings.
And I think he got the day off the next day.
He did. So that is his only hit in the series.
You can have one, make it count, right?
And he did. Luckily for the Athletics, they did win the game. A's come in with a 58-49 record. They're 32-24 at home, and they're 3-3 on this 10-game homestand with today, and then the Angels coming in. That one's hit hard, and it's just foul. A's still the #1 wild card team in the American League. Their lead over the Angels, who are the second wild card team, is just a half a game. And then the Tigers, Orioles, and Rays are right on the heels of the A's and the Angels. The Red Sox and the Blue Jays are starting to fall back just a little bit. Still time for either of those teams to make a move. But see, the Tigers just a half game back. Orioles, Rays, who again are playing each other, a game and a half back. And the game and a half back is of the Angels, the second place for the second wild card team. So it should be fun tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday day with the Angels in town. They still have 10 games left against the Angels this year. Swing and a miss, 1-2 to Mathis. That Rays-Orioles game is going to the 10th inning now, scoreless.
Well, this is only 87 miles an hour, but after throwing the change, which Mathis stayed back on pretty good, just misses the third base line. He throws that fastball up and away, and after seeing that slower stuff, it seems a lot faster than 87.
Mathis had a pretty good swing there, fouls it straight back.
He was on that pretty good, adjusted well.
Well, Tommy Malone has just one win in his last 6 starts. His last 2 starts, as we said, against these Blue Jays, and then the Rays here at home, he has lost both of those. Runner goes. Pitch is a ball. Throw to second base. In time as Weeks held on. So Norris throws out Johnson, and that's out number 1.
Well, you got to give credit to Weeks right here. The catch is going to give him maybe a dinner later, but one thing Norris does is he gets rid of the ball so quick. For a big guy, he's got quick feet, but this is a tough hop. It's in a good spot, but Weeks, I'm telling you, that made it look easy, but that is not an easy play. Not only did he scoop it, but he drops that tag on it really well. Low, tough pitch. It looked like he kind of didn't get the greatest grip, so he had to hold on to it a little longer, bought a little time, didn't get as much on the throw as he's used to. He's got a good arm, but his quickness with his feet and his release are what's going to get him having success throwing guys out. But Weeks right there, that play's all his right there.
So the pitch was called a ball on the throw out. So 2-2 the count. Carter back, Weeks over, not an easy play, and Carter makes it. Nicely done.
Enjoy a unique on-field screening of Moneyball presented by Advantel Networks. Saturday, August 18th, after the A's play the Indians, fans with special pre-purchased movie tickets will be invited to watch Moneyball. Field level tickets that include the movie are available for $40. If you already have tickets to the game, movie tickets are available for $12. A portion of the proceeds will benefit cystic fibrosis research, support, and resources. For information, go to oaklandathletics.com/moneyball.
So that game that night is a 6:05 start against the Indians. The movie will start on the field soon after that. You can see where it all happened. You will be standing where it all happened. You'll be able to look up and see where Scott Hatterberg's home run went over the right field wall. Still think we should make the seat special out there or something. I mean,
Take that seat, yeah?
I'm just saying, just a thought.
I think Spider Reddit crew might want to put a web on something out, all those seats out there.
And that's a swinging strikeout, so it's not a 3-up, 3-down inning, but Malone faces only 3 hitters. He'll take it. Cespedes to lead it off, 1-0 Jays. Late, bottom of the second. You want Cespedes when he's not batting? What do you do with your hat, Scott?
I threw it on the ground.
No, it's going to stay, and it's going to stay there. In fact,
when you're that good, you get your own stand.
So we're going to keep an eye on his hat. I mean, this has become important.
That's how you keep it pristine.
Plus, it's got a little bobblehead action to it, which is good.
Maybe he's hinting.
His time will come.
He'll have more than one.
Oh, yeah.
Still bobbling.
See, and it's still bobbling. That's perfect. 1-0 to Cespedes. He was a pinch runner in yesterday's game. He left Friday night's game in the 8th inning with a sprained right wrist. So it's good to have him back in there. Again, he's the DH today. And he rips one to center. Right at goes, who reaches down, makes the catch. A line drive by Cespedes.
Well, if it's possible to hit every single part of the ball, he just did right there. And you could tell from this angle, it bobbed and weaved. Well, his wrist looks better. That is some torque. If you have that many muscles, you're bound to stretch some out now and then. But that looked free and easy, and he crushed this. And that is a nice catch because that ball was a knuckleball. And it bobbed and weaved and dove and snagged nicely.
First pitch to Carter is in for a strike on the outside corner. So Laffey does not throw her hard, a little bit of a dart thrower. I think Malone maybe throws a little bit harder than Laffey.
A little more action in Malone stuff.
That one just a bit low. 80 miles an hour. Like a changeup. Carter 260 with 9 home runs, 18 runs batted in. He's 1 for 8 in this series. 1 hit a home run. He's walked 4 times and he has struck out 4 times.
Not going to the hat yet.
Not yet.
Well, Laffey is righties are hitting 272 off him this year, but last year they hit 358 off him. So he's made a nice adjustment, and I'm betting it's that changeup.
Carter reaches for it. 84 miles an hour. Sierra is under it in right field. He's got it. So 2 outs as Laffey has retired the first 5 hitters that he has faced, and that'll bring up Brandon Inge. Inge hitting 207 with 12 home runs. 51 runs batted in.
He's 3 for 12 off Laffey with a homer.
Well, yesterday, hitless, and that stopped his 13-game hitting streak, which is a career high. 0 for 5 yesterday. Hits that one off his foot.
Same game off Laffey. That was the breaking ball. He knew it as soon as he hit it. Inge locks it up and deposits it nicely into left center. See one of those today. With that breaking ball, that slurvy shape, he's going to throw a lot of.
Foul straight back. Good swing there by Inge.
He's got a shorter breaking ball that isn't, it's more of a cutter. It's off his fastball. It's a shorter break. You'll see it. It's more of the flatter plane. It's less of a slurvy shape. You'll see the slurvy shape, and that should be right around 80 miles an hour right there. Drops down to 75. So he'll take a little bit more off of it, but right in that 75 to 80 range. And that cutter will come in around 85, 86.
2-2 is hit right up the middle and into center field. So the A's have their first base runner. So after going 0 for 5 yesterday, Inge gets a hit his first at bat today.
Ready to start another streak. Here he gets that cutter. Trying to get it inside. You can see where the catcher was set up, but he left it directly over the middle of the plate, and that's what command guys just have to avoid because the stuff isn't quite as electric as some of those guys that throw harder. You're going to give up more hard contact, and Inge hits it good there up the middle.
Derek Norris steps in, hitting 198, 3 homers, 12 RBIs. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Norris with the RBI double yesterday that gave the A's an early lead in the game. Thought it was going to be enough. Not quite.
DHing yesterday, actually hit the ball really hard 3 times. Sprayed it to all fields. When you're struggling, it just seems like you can't find a hole, and that was kind of the case for him yesterday. But hitting hard, if you're a hitting coach, I'm sure Chili's telling him, that's all you can ask for is hit it hard.
O2 pitch is inside.
There's the cutter that he wants. That's where he wants to put it. 85 mile an hour. Something to get Barry on his hands. Chance to back it up with a changeup away. Definitely going to play with velocity differences.
Short lead at first for Inge. Close pitch, a bit inside, says Phil Pezzi, the home plate umpire. We'll Rosales waiting in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to hit in this inning. Laffey, long look in now, he's ready. And that one's drilled toward left center field, goes on the move, and he dives, he can't get it, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. And here comes Inge around third, and he is going to score, and it's a tie game.
Big hit by Norris right there, a bit of a gamble by Goes. It was kind of curling away from him, and I think he was a little hesitant as far as if he was going to dive or not, but he's so fast, I think that he thought he had a beat on it, but it just kept tailing away from him. Pitch up, probably not where he wanted it. Not bad on the corner, but it was just up in the zone. Cutter away, Norris crushes it, and it's just out of the reach, but probably far enough that he could have read that he wasn't going to get this. Maybe played on a hop and see if he can keep Inge from scoring on that play, but aggressive play, and that's Jays have played aggressive this whole series.
So Norris gets the RBI double, and here's Rosales. First pitch is a strike. Well, easy to say after the fact, but if you're going to dive on that play, you got to catch it. Because if you don't, it's a run.
That's right. It's a tough play, and you know he's an aggressive guy. He's made some great plays. That first play he made, the Cespedes he made look easy. He dove for one last night straight at him. That was a nice play. He's a guy that wants to make plays, but sometimes you can be overly aggressive, and he might have been overly aggressive right there. But Norris once again drives in the A's first run.
One and one to Rosales, hitting 156 with 3 RBIs.
Kind of an emergency swing right there. Made up his mind late.
For Rosales, this is his 4th consecutive start since being called up. It's the Cespedes bobblehead.
He's got that flexible neck. It just keeps rotating.
Swing and a miss, and that will do it. A's get a run, a 2-out rally, Inge a single, Norris a double. So we're headed to the 3rd, tied at 1.
Filipino Heritage Night presented by Cache Creek Casino Resort on Friday, August 17th. All participants that purchase a special ticket for this event will receive an exclusive Filipino Heritage beanie and a traditional food item served in the Westside Club. Throwing out the ceremonial first pitch will be boxing champ Nonito the Filipino Flash Donoray Jr. For tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/Filipino.
Right fielder, number 14, Moises Sierra.
1-1 game, top of the third inning. As Jays will send Sierra, Hechavarria, and Davis 8, 9, and 1 against Malone. And that one is skied to left. Rosales out, Gomes in. Tough Sun. Gomes battling it, and he caught it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that was a battle right now. He can't see where he's got spots. But I think if you ask him right now, that last 1.5 seconds was pure blind stab at where I think it's going to be. He's fighting it hard right there. Yeah. He kind of looked away right at the last second.
Well, that is a heck of a play.
That is a heck of a play. Yeah, you can see him look away.
Well, sometimes you see a guy when they look away, they bail out. Well, he really didn't bail out. He's hung in there.
Is he the type that's going to bail out?
No,
look at that
not.
guy.
No, we are not surprised by that.
That guy would catch it with his teeth if it meant an out. That's the heartbeat right there.
Swing and a miss. So this is Danny Hechavarria.
Rookie looking for his first hit.
His first major league start was yesterday.
Typically a shortstop playing third base with Laurie out of the game, or out with a tender oblique.
Oblique, I believe, is what it was. 1-2 pitches inside. Hechavarria is top prospect for the Blue Jays, and they felt like if they did trade Yunel Escobar, which was in the rumor mill, did not happen, this is the guy who would probably take over. Gomes coming in, and Johnny Gomes on the move makes the catch for out number 2.
That ball stayed lower, so he didn't get it in the sun. It was an easier catch, but yeah, Hechavarria, he's known for his glove. I don't think there are any concerns about him being able to play shortstop.
Number 11, Rajay Davis.
But the bat right here is just a little bit behind, and probably needs to cut the swing down a little bit. But this ball stays, the trajectory of it stays a little lower, and he's able to show off his wheels and his range, and nabs another one.
Top of the order, Rajay Davis. He takes a strike. The White Sox have added a run in the bottom of the 8th inning, still batting. They lead the Angels 4-2 now. The A's will see the White Sox in Chicago next weekend. So that's a big series if you look ahead just a little bit. White Sox in first place, leading the Tigers by a game and a half in the AL Central.
There's going to be a few series, I think, here coming towards the end that are going to have a little weight to them.
The Orioles have scored at the top of the 10th. They lead the Rays 1-0. Rajay rips one just foul.
The Jays have just missed that line a few times this series. But Malone has got to make a better 0-2 pitch than that. He left that thing right over the middle of the plate. And Rajay's seeing the ball well.
Yep.
He smoked it. Hooked just a little too much.
Swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt to first. Side retired. So a shutdown inning for Tommy Malone. Bottom of the 3rd. Coming up, 1-1 game. fresh? Ask Glenn and Scott. Jacob from Fairfield asks, what is the franchise record for most walk-offs by the A's? And do you think the A's can break that record this year? Of course they can. I don't even know what it is, and of course they can. 13 this year for the Athletics. Way ahead of everybody else in Major League Baseball. So 13 this year. 54 games left to play after today.
Well, I know they're going to get some more because Reddick's got more uniforms in his locker and gadgets. There's tricks up these guys' sleeve, and they have to break them out.
It's a no-brainer. So we'll get the franchise record for you.
Chile sharing some wisdom with Mr. Reddick.
Just a bit outside. Franchise record is 15 in 2004.
Well, that's achievable.
Come on. It's a done deal. The Major League record is the Pirates. 18 walk-off wins in 1959.
Well, I think that's within reach.
So Weeks with a leadoff walk. So there you have it.
I'm sure they'd like a few laughers in between those, but those
not
nail
nearly
biters
as much fun.
They're not as much fun, but there's a lot of gnawed down fingernails in that dugout.
Oh yeah. But I mentioned game number 50 or 54 games left. So this after today, it'll be the 2/3 point of the season for the Athletics.
Good to see Weeks get walked there. He's showing signs of getting back on base. He's 4 for his last 10. He's seeing some balls. He's the kind of guy you really want to see come on strong here at the end. Have him and Crisp at the top of that lineup, getting on base for the middle of that order. Tough on the defense when those two are on fire, and you kind of get that action that Ghost and Rajai Davis had in the first inning. That pressure defense that make things happen type of a play is really a nice offset to a middle of the order that can lose the ball out of the ballpark.
So this is a perfect spot for the A's with Weeks hitting in the 9th spot, a leadoff walk, and now Coco Crisp, the leadoff hitter, batting. 0-1 the count. Coco struck out swinging in the first inning. Weeks with a pretty good lead at first. Jamal with 14 steals on the year. He's been thrown out 5 times.
Laugh is about average to the plate. Okay move. He's a guy, if he picks the right pitch, he can get there.
That one drilled toward right center. Goes on the move. He gets there. So Crisp hit it well, but Anthony Goes showing off that good speed, makes the catch.
Yeah, Coco scored that ball pretty good, but you got Goes out there who really wants to go and get it. Good pitch the other way. Easy catch for Goes, though. He glides out there, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Long strides. Coco's upset. He knows it. Tough when you get those balls where you want to hit the other way. You just got to keep that a little bit lower. It's a tough ball for a little guy to drive into that gap, especially when the guy doesn't throw too hard and you're supplying all the power.
Here's Gomes, who popped out to the shortstop his first at bat. He lines one to the gap. Rajai Davis racing over to cut it off. Weeks is going to go to third, and Rajai Davis made a nice play on left center field. And now the A's are in business with runners at first and third, 1 out for Reddick.
Well, Gomes doesn't need anybody to supply power for him. He supplies all he needs, and he gets a pitch right out of the gate here over the plate. Smashes it, but Rajai Davis, this is an amazing job at cutting the ball off and getting it back to the infield. And Laffey has got to be excited about that. Now he keeps the double play in order. I thought there's no way he was going to get to that. Gomes is going to end up at second, but that is a great play by Rajai Davis.
Reddick steps in. He struck out swinging in the first inning. So the A's, after tying it in the second, now a chance to take the lead here in the third. Swing and a miss. Chased an off-speed pitch.
Struggling a little in runners in scoring position. He's been in some big situations in this series. Chances to win the ball game. He's been a little aggressive. He's got some pitches, I think, if you ask him, that he feels like he could have done something with, and it ended up pulling him. And a lot of it is just overly anxious and speeding the game up. Relax, let it come to you.
That one sliced down the left field line, and it is foul.
Hit the ball the other way like that.
Almost looked like he was trying to go the other way.
I think when Chili talks to him, and I'm sure he knows this already, but the key is letting the ball travel. One of the hardest things to do, and a lot of guys in spring training, you'll see it, is they hit the ball the other way. The hardest part is to let it travel that extra foot. And when you get in trouble, a lot of times your sights get set out and you start making contact further and further out. You end up hooking balls and you miss off speed.
So 0-2 the count to Reddick. Setting up outside. And he reaches for it. This to stay alive. The Orioles ended up beating the Rays 1-0 in 10 innings. Baltimore takes 2 out of 3 in that series. That one's hit right field. Going back to Sierra. He's at the wall, and that baby is gone.
Chili's a wise man. Told him what he needed to hear, I guess. And Reddick feels good. Well, this is a perfect example of what Chili, I'm sure, was trying to tell Reddick. Instead of forcing the issue and trying to get the ball out in front. Oh, there's some burning. Knew that was coming. He let it happen, and that wasn't a bad pitch. It was an 0-2 pitch. He came inside. Reddick threw his hands and deposited just right of his Spider Reddick crew.
So 24 home runs, 56 RBIs now for Reddick.
Feels good to come through when your team needs it, definitely, and you've been struggling with runners in scoring position.
First pitch to Cespedes is in for a strike. You figure Laffey's not going to throw hard enough to throw it by you.
It happens so fast, even if you don't throw hard, it's sometimes hard to convince yourself of that. Coco's probably talking about, see, let the ball travel, hit that one, just missed the one to left center. Don't worry about inside. Let your hands react.
Escobar has it. Cespedes is retired for out number 2. So he's setting up inside here.
Yep, and he makes it. He throws a pretty good pitch inside, but there is how short and how quick he's able to react inside. If you worry about inside, a lot of times you'll get out there further than you need to. Here, 0-2, he's probably not looking in there. He just reacted short to the ball and way strong enough to hit it out of there. And good hitters make those adjustments. And he is a good hitter.
Oh, 1-1 to Carter. Carter hit a fly ball to right field in the second inning. Scott, remember we talked about the load? Watch his back leg and how the weight goes to the back leg. And that's part of the load too, right? You talked a lot about the hands, but just that little
weight
getting the weight back
to his back,
onto the back leg.
Exactly. That is his load. And it's more than just a power thing. It's a timing thing. And he's also got a little bit of a a front foot tap. He kind of brings it back and taps, and that's part of his load. And everybody's is different, but if you look around the league and you freeze frame some people, everybody has that little move. All good hitters do. And if you don't have one, you need to develop one up here.
That one's hit toward left center. But in the ballpark. Goes, has it, side retired. Big hit for the A's. It's Josh Reddick. Home run number 24, a 3-run shot. So it's the A's now with a 4-1 lead.
Magazine featuring Josh Reddick and Brandon Inge is now available. Get to know all-star reliever Ryan Cook. Meet the women behind the scenes of athletics baseball and learn where Josh Reddick finds his motivation. The new issue is available at team stores and online at oaklandathletics.com/magazine.
Reddick, 3-run homer, so the A's lead 4-1. He goes, and Encarnacion and Escobar 2, 3, and 4 for the Jays. Tommy Malone with a few runs to work with. Making his 4th shot at winning his 10th game. He's 9-8. Goes was the hitter who bunted with Rajai Davis at second. Davis was running on the play. The A's threw Goes out. Rajai Davis just kept running and he scored, so it actually went as a sacrifice bunt and an RBI for Goes. 2-2 to count.
Goes isn't seeing that cutter real well from Malone. I can see his front side kind of open up. Makes it tough to reach that pitch or do much with that pitch that goes away from you. He really hides that cutter nice.
So now full count. The Blue Jays got the leadoff double from Davis in the first inning. They have not had a hit since. A couple of strikeouts for Malone. He's hit a batter. One bounced back through the Blue Jays on deck circle.
Well, he's doing what he's known for, and that's mixing it up, and he's been doing that so far this game, and he's kept the Jays off balance.
3-2, slap toward left, and that's going to drop for a hit. So Goes has a leadoff single here in the top of the 4th inning.
Good piece of hitting right there. That full count against a guy that's been working you stuff going away, and he comes inside and big leg kick there. Just drops the head and flips it over shortstop's head. You'll take those against those lefties any day.
So leadoff man aboard for Encarnacion. And he takes a fastball for a strike on the outside corner.
This is the big banger in the Jays lineup. Is kind of the last one standing as far as the home run guys.
Well, the home run totals of the guys that are not in the Jays lineup. Aaron Sebia has 16. Bautista has 27. Rasmus has 19. And Laurie has 9. There's a shot foul.
I think the Jays might come repaint that line next time they come back.
What about this, Scott? Want me to surprise you?
I don't think you can.
All right. Coming into today, the Blue Jays have scored more runs than the Yankees. They've scored one more run than the Yankees.
Okay, you surprised me.
Is that unbelievable?
That's unbelievable. That tells me they can really put up some big numbers in a game.
Shows you how much they miss the guys they have. But coming into today, they've scored 516 runs. The Yankees have scored 550.
They like to go toe-to-toe, outslug you. Tough to do it missing all those guys, though.
Morris coming back, and he is going to just run out of it. But I think, too, if you're a team like Jays who hit a lot of home runs and then you have guys out, it's hard to say, well, okay, now we're going to try to create runs in a different way. Well, that's hard to do.
It's near impossible to do. And I know Edwin Encarnacion here is feeling it because they know he is the one guy that can damage you on one swing. And the A's have shown they've done pretty well against him this series, but he's not going to get some of those pitches because he doesn't have that protection surrounding him.
Runner goes, and that one's hit towards center, and that's hit well. Coco Christ going back, still going back. He's right at the wall, and it is gone. Coco made a heck of an effort, but Encarnacion, number 29, and it's 4-3.
Well, that's exactly what he's capable of. Biggest part of the ballpark. You're right, Chris was on that wall like he was in the Spider-Man outfit.
Boy, that was a heck of a try.
Now batting.
Well, probably not what they exactly wanted. Norris was inside. You don't want to let this guy get extended. He can absolutely hammer balls. And he leaves it up. And Edwin knows what to do with it. Man, he got way up there, and this ball didn't get out by too much.
It did not. I don't think he missed that by very much.
I wouldn't be surprised if that might have scraped his leather or come real close to doing it. But either way, it's gone.
So that's the 19th home run Malone has allowed in 137 innings. Now 2-0. See if we get a better look here. This should tell us.
Gosh, he's up there.
He is.
It was about 3 or 4 inches.
Yep.
And that was out there by 5 feet almost. Guess that's what you call an athlete.
Yes, indeed. This one popped up down the right field line. Reddick settles underneath it. He's got it. Escobar is retired. So 1 out here in the top of the 4th
Now
inning.
batting, number 2,
Kelly Johnson. Escobar must have thought he got a pitch to hit. Watch the reaction.
Yep, that pitch was a ball he thought he could handle and drive. And that's frustration. I'll tell you, that's baseball. And that's a guy who, like I said earlier, was concentrating. But it didn't come through.
Kelly Johnson has struggled in this series, but he gets a base hit. He's been on base twice. Got hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. So after giving up just 1 hit through the first 3 innings, Malone has given up a couple of singles and a home run here in the 4th.
Now batting, number 6.
Well, he's just finding himself up in the zone a little bit, over the plate. I mean, it's 3 pitches really in a row that have not been where he wants. And as we said before, his stuff is not overpowering. He has to be fine to be successful. And a part of it is, he's working with Norris, somewhat new with each other. And sometimes you got to tweak where he sets up and what you like to throw.
Here's Mathis.
I've had pitchers that have really wanted me to get further out when I was struggling, or accentuate where I set up, and they would aim at different parts of my body instead of my glove. So knowing those nuanced things of when a pitcher gets in trouble, what adjustments to make, that's part of the learning curve.
Don't you also think if a guy's thinking that much,
no,
be careful.
That could be a flag.
Runner was going, it's popped up. Carter comes down the line.
So well, you got to hang out with pitchers a little bit more, I think.
Then I would have a better understanding.
There's a lot going on in some of those heads.
So 2 outs. Here's Yan Gomes.
Number 68, Yan Gomes.
Gomes struck out swinging in the 2nd inning.
For 10 this series.
Good changeup. First pitch changeup, and Gomes swings and misses.
Located that nice down. Good action. Important pitch for him versus right-handers.
61 pitches so far for Tommy Milone. Slider outside. I would say Tommy Milone, maybe not quite as sharp today as we've seen him when he's really on.
He can be pinpoint.
Yeah.
He can be pinpoint, yeah. And not only with his fastball, but with all his pitches. Guys like Tommy Milone, they can fall behind and be successful. And sometimes guys like this like to pitch behind and have those hitters a little bit more aggressive. But the one thing you'll always see is they don't miss over the middle of the plate. So they don't mind nibbling at a corner, but missing and falling behind in those 1-0 counts. But they don't usually come back with something down the middle.
So 1-2 the count to Gomes. Johnson is the runner at first. Nice block. Johnson took a couple steps towards second base and then stopped.
Norris blocks the ball pretty well, but I think the thing I'm most impressed with is how quick he is. He gets down quick and he gets out quick. For a big-bodied guy, he's pretty fleet-footed. Big guy, a little late to getting that ball, but he's up and at it quick. Way quicker than you'd think with the dense body type. Kind of a Fred Flintstone guy. Quicker than old Twinkle Toes, though.
Well, we've seen him run. I mean, he's got good speed.
He does. He's not going to like that I called him Fred Flintstone.
No, you're going to have some explaining to do. He may say, hey, I don't care if you're Moneyball or not, buddy. You got some explaining to do.
He can stone cold look at you, too.
I have a feeling that you'll be able to explain exactly what you mean.
Yep, there's the stone cold stare. He's got that nice grizzly beard.
2-2, foul back by Gomes. The battle continues. So Gomes steps back in. Outfield pretty much straight away for Gomes. One of the teams that chasing the A's, very close to them, is the Tigers. Tigers went into the bottom of the 10th inning trailing 8-5 to the Indians, and they scored 5 times in the bottom of the 10th and won it. Miguel Cabrera with a 2-run walk-off home run. So A's were looking for some help. They didn't get it from the Indians, and a swing and a miss, but a couple of runs for the Jays on the Encarnacion home run. 4-3 A's as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Brought to you by AT&T. Name the only 3 players to hit 20 home runs in a single season for both the Blue Jays and the A's.
Hitting out the bottom of the 4th inning for the Athletics, third baseman, number 7, Brandon.
20 home runs in a season. 3 guys have done it for both the Blue Jays and the A's. Oh, the Bernie.
Here's the Bernie.
First pitch, bottom of the 4th inning. Laffey to Inge is a strike. Brandon Inge singled with 2 outs in the 2nd inning and then scored on the Norris double. Laffey, he's looking for the shutdown inning after getting the home run by Encarnacion to really get his team right back in it. Outside.
He rarely throws a straight fastball. He's got one, but he really likes to stick with that cutter, and he really wants that ball moving. So pretty much every single one of them he likes to cut.
He does not give in, does he?
Nope.
Like that.
Good downward action right there on that. It kind of blurs the line between his cutter and he really it's kind of a feel pitch for him, that breaking ball. Adds some size, takes a little off. Whatever he feels the situation is calling for, or what the hitter is kind of giving to him, at least as a whole. Dictate what he does with it.
Another 3-2. And that's a base hit to right field. So Inge, nice job of hitting. So the Angels are leaving Chicago on their way to the Bay Area. Big series, and there's your pitching matchups. Weaver and Parker tomorrow night. Wilson, Cologne on Tuesday. Greinke, Straley on Wednesday. So you will see the Angels' 3 best starters: Weaver, Wilson, Greinke, Parker, Cologne, Straley. So there's your pitching matchups. All 3 games can be seen right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. The White Sox beat the Angels today 4-2. Angels had a 2-1 lead in that game in the 7th inning, but A.J. Brzezinski hit a big home run. Could be a double play out at second and out at first. Close play at first, but Norris hits into the 5-4-3 double play.
Well, I think Norris is not thrilled with his choice of pitches. Rolls this pitch over, but they go the long way. And he's just beat, but gets down the line pretty good, like you said, for a catcher.
And those are the updated standings with that Angels loss. The Rangers are still playing. They're tied 6-6 in the 10th inning. So those are as updated as you can get in the West standings. The A's and the Angels have 10 more games left this year. The A's and the Rangers have 7 games left. Rosales drives one right center field, but it hangs up for goes. He's got it side retired. So we're moving to the 5th. It's the A's 4 and the Blue Jays 3. And let's give the AT&T trivia answer. Only 3 players that hit 20 home runs in a single season for the Blue Jays and the A's. Scott Hatterberg jotted down Matt Stairs. Was he right? Should have known. Canseco, yes, and Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas, I don't know. Didn't get that one.
There's Big Frank. It's a couple of years with the Blue Jays. The one great year with the Athletics in 2006. He was fun with the Athletics.
Big hurt.
Ricky Henderson had some time with the Blue Jays.
Yes, he did.
Nice play by Inge. guns it across, and they get Sierra, who actually runs pretty well. We thought maybe he had extra bases. So one out here in the top of the 5th inning.
Can't teach those hands. Good feet. Tough. That was a tough in between hop a little bit. Hit hard. Inge makes it look easy.
Here's Echeverria. Danny Echeverria. Hit a fly ball to Gomes in left. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Echeverria was 0 for 3 with a walk and a couple of strikeouts yesterday. That was his major league debut.
Runs pretty good. If he gets on the sack, he's got a chance to steal a base. Scouts say he's got a chance to hit for average. He's a strong kid. You can see he's got a pretty good swing, balanced.
Yep.
Creates some torque, has some leverage.
It's this one to right. Going back is Reddick toward the line into the corner, and turns around right at the last minute to make the catch. So that's out number 2. Echeverria is still looking for his first major league hit.
Now batting.
And that'll bring up top of the order Rajai Davis. Davis is 1 for 2. Shallow left field. Rosales fighting that sun, and he can't find it, and it drops. So indeed, the tough sun. We've seen it already today. And we see Johnny Gomes really struggle with the sun and make the catch. Rosales could not.
Well, Malone makes a nice pitch here with his changeup, gets him out front, but sometimes as you're taking an angle, your angle and the ball's angle sometimes just coincide exactly with the sun. So a lot of times when there's tough sun days like right now, it's nice to have more than one person going at the ball, but that one was kind of in no man's land. I don't think Gomes had a chance of covering that much distance, but usually there's a lot of people going even if they don't think they're going to catch it. They converge on the ball just in case one guy loses it late like Rosales did right there. Very tough play.
Well, now the stolen base comes into play big time with Rajai Davis. He's got 30 on the year, second in the American League behind Mike Trout. First pitch goes, is a bit high. Goes is 1 for 1. And he slices that one left field, a base hit. Gomes has to cut it off, and he will. Davis to third, and Davis with a big turn, and then he stops, and Goes has a double. 2-out rally for the Blue Jays. So Goes with a nice piece of hitting.
Yeah, really nice. Going the other way right here. Malone has struggled a little bit from the stretch, I've noticed. He's not quite as sharp. He slide steps twice here. Leaves that ball pretty much right over the middle of the plate. Cutter. Goes doesn't try to do too much with it. Just shoots it the other way. And absolutely flies. This ball's not too far for Gomes, but it's an easy double for Rajai News. He's rolling out immediately. He's there easy. Even took a turn, depending on what Gomes did with the ball.
So they're going to walk Encarnacion to face Escobar.
Be interesting to see if Malone goes from the stretch or the windup once they load him up.
So this will be the first walk issued by Malone. 77 pitches for the A's left-hander. So Escobar to hit with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Now batting.
A's up by 1.
Yunel Escobar.
Real big situation right here. Malone's pitch count creeping up there. They definitely need him to get out of this.
Escobar 0 for 2 today, 5 for 17 in the series.
Smartly, he's going to go out of the windup. I know he feels more comfortable that way.
And the first pitch is a strike. So Davis at third, goes at second, Encarnacion at first. So very good speed on the bases for the Blue Jays. That fastball runs in. 1-1 the count. At least with a guy like Malone, can walk the bases loaded because you got a pretty good idea he's going to throw a strike. Got terrific control. Escobar fouls it behind home plate, so Malone ahead in the count.
Yeah, he's going to throw strikes. He's only walked 1 batter or fewer in his last 8 starts, so he is comfortable when he is forced to throw strikes that he's able to do so.
Malone, a long look in. Now he's ready. Fouled out. Escobar fights it off.
Problem for him most of the time isn't just throwing strikes, but too good of strikes.
So another 1-2. And it's hit in the hole, and that's a base hit to left field. 1 run scores, 2 runs scored, and the Blue Jays, thanks to a 2-out rally, have taken a 5-4 lead.
Good at bat there by Escobar. In a hole, 2 strikes. Gets a pitch he can handle. Inner half, not great location, but Escobar fights it off, finds a hole. It's a big knock for the Jays right there.
So Escobar gets his 36th and 37th RBIs of the year, and that's, outside of the big home runs the Blue Jays have hit in the series, a couple that tied the game, they've had trouble getting those big run scoring singles or doubles, but they've gotten them. Certainly that one maybe the biggest runners in scoring position hit in the series for the Blue Jays, as it gives them the lead. Bullpen stays quiet for the Athletics.
Kelly Johnson.
Yeah, they've really struggled this series with runners in scoring position. And without the big boppers in the lineup, it's become more of a glaring thing for them. So sometimes you take that on as more pressure, but Escobar comes and gives him a big lift there coming through.
Well, the home run can cover up a lot of deficiencies in an offense. I mean,
when you're able to hit that 2-run, 3-run home run at any time, that runner in scoring position number can be whatever it is.
That's a good point. And let's not forget, they're taking advantage of that sunball that Rosales could not catch, and that would have been the 3rd out. One and 1 the count to Kelly Johnson, who's been hit by a pitch, and he has singled.
Malone turning, taking a look at an Edwin Encarnacion, he's had some attempts this series. Big guy, runs pretty good.
Johnson hits a shot foul.
They're definitely squaring some balls. They're seeing Malone good right now.
Encarnacion at second, Escobar at first. Johnson loops one, shallow left. That's trouble, and it's going to fall, and another run is going to come in to score as Encarnacion crosses home plate, and it's 6-4. So just a little flare by Johnson, but it gets the job done. It gets him an RBI.
Well, this is that same spot where it was going to be a tough ball, even if Rosie could have got to it. Johnson fights it off. Pretty good pitch. Malone buries it in. He gets just enough to flip it, but this is that spot that was going to be really tough to catch it, even if he was able to get there. But Gomes can't get there, Rosie can't get there, and the Suns playing in there. So that was a tough ball all around.
So 4 hits and a walk. Jays have scored 3 times here in the 5th inning. So this is Jeff Mathis. 5 consecutive hitters have reached. Swing and a miss by Mathis. Now we are going to get some action out in the A's bullpen. Scribner gets up. Long look in by Malone. Swing and a miss. Good changeup from Malone, and it's 0-2.
Got a good changeup. I'd like to see him maybe even use it a little bit more. That fastball's been seen and hit pretty well so far. Changeup can help it out.
And he throws it again, and he gets Mathis, but damage done by the Jays. They score 3 times on 4 hits. So bottom of the 5th coming up, 6-4 Toronto.
On Comcast Sportsnet, watch MLB.tv. Subscribe today to see every A's out-of-market game live online in HD quality. Features include choice of home and away broadcasts, multi-game viewing, and the ability to pause and rewind live games. Visit OaklandAthletics.com to order. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
(6-4). The Blue Jays lead the A's. It's the bottom of the 5th inning. Weeks to lead it off. First pitch from Laffey is a strike.
Well, Weeks got a start in the 3rd, leading off. Let's see if he can't do it again.
The Royals have just beaten the Texas Rangers 7-6 in 10 innings. They beat them on an error, a throwing error by young third baseman Mike Olt for the Rangers. He threw a double play ball into right field, and that allowed the winning run to score for Kansas City. So the A's got help as the Rangers lose and the Angels lose. The Mariners also lost 6-2 at Yankee Stadium.
Tough way to lose on a play like that. Always heartbreaking.
One-two pitch to Jamal Weeks is bounced slowly towards second. Johnson to first, and they just get Weeks for out number one. So we'll head to the top of the order and Coco Crisp. So Texas, even with that loss, they still win 2 out of 3 in Kansas City, and the Rangers will now head to Boston to start a 3-game series against the Red Sox Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that is what is up next for the Texas Rangers. First pitch to Coco Crisp. Down and in. So everything is final now in the American League. Rangers had a 5-0 lead in that game with Derek Holland on the mound, and they could not hold it. Coco grounds it foul. White Sox beat the Angels 4-2. Jones over Isringhausen. A.J. Brzezinski's having a big year, and Kevin Youkilis homered again for the White Sox. Brzezinski's got 21 home runs,
which for him has not been the track record for him.
Well, he's not a huge home run hitter. I mean,
he's hit for average.
Yeah, had 15, 16. Down the left field line. Plenty of distance by Coco, but well fouled. That Tigers game, which ended with the Tigers scoring 5 times in the bottom of the 10th inning, Cabrera a 2-run homer to finish it. So that's the 9th straight loss for the Cleveland Indians. They were in it for a while. They're not in it anymore. Cleveland now 15-58. Infante, Omar Infante, newly acquired players, had a 2-run single with 2 outs in the 9th to tie it, and then Cabrera's home run won it. Coco shoots from the right field. Sierra going back, still going back, and he makes the catch, running into the wall.
Well, Coco's hit 2 good balls last 2 at bats. Last one it goes. This one he hits a lot better. Gets a pitch over the plate, over the outer half, but shows he's got some juice the other way. Just not quite enough. Sierra tracks it down. That was a tough play. That ball carried pretty well. I think Sierra was surprised at how much it carried.
Yep. So 2 outs. First pitch to Gomes. He hits it hard, and it's fair. Past a diving Hechavarria. Ball is rattling around in front of the A's bullpen. It hit the chair that the security guard sits on. It did not hit the security guard, just hit his chair, and then it kind of stopped. It was going to be a double either way for Gomes.
Well, Gomes jumps on the first pitch once again, thinking that's the best one. He just skirts this line, hits it well. Hechavarria can't come up with it, and there it is. The security guard a little late getting the chair out of the way. Hometown security guard.
Maybe.
So Gomes is in scoring position with 2 outs.
First pitch to Reddick is a strike. Did you ever play at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego?
Never did.
Their bullpens down, way down against the outfield wall in foul territory. And they had seats down there, little benches and the bags of balls down underneath. They were all in play. And if the ball went under there, you had guys would be digging for the ball bag sitting there.
Could have grabbed any ball you wanted.
It doesn't matter. All in play. You'd have to go down there and reach under the bench to pull it out. 0-2 pitch to Reddick and a foul tip held on. Reddick strikes out, side retired. So we're moving to the 6th inning. Blue Jays with a 6-4 lead. California is brought to you by Cache Creek's Tropical Riches. Win cash and prizes daily through September 3rd. Visit cachecreek.com for details. 6-4, the Blue Jays lead. The A's led 4-1 after 3 innings, but the Jays with 2 in the 4th and 3 in the 5th. Well, they come to bat here in the 6th with Gomes, Sierra, and Hechavarria. Down and away, 1-1 the count. 93 pitches for Malone. He's given up 8 hits. He's walked 1, and he has struck out 4. Broken bat grounder toward Rosales. Adam throws in time, and that's out number 1. Last 2 home starts, 11 earned runs allowed by Tommy Malone. It was against the Rays, and that was Tuesday. Good fastball there for a strike to Moises Sierra.
They had Scribner up last inning. I know they really would like to see Malone go as deep into this game as they could and give those guys a break. So he's back out there.
So you're saying maybe even stretch him out a little bit more than you would.
Well, I know
if the whole bullpen situation was normal.
If they could get a short, quick inning out of him, they'd really like that and possibly send him back out. But his pitch count's getting up there right around 100.
If you're just joining us, the A's called up 2 relievers, Figueroa and Scribner, so they actually have 9 pitchers in their bullpen. So they do have plenty of reinforcements. Blevins, Doolittle, Norberto, Blackley, Figueroa are your left-handed relievers. Scribner, Neshek, Balfour, Cook are your right-handed relievers. So a couple extra chairs down there in the bullpen. one's hit hard, and that's a base hit. So Sierra with a 1-out single.
Now batting, number 3.
Well, here's the pitch. Seen it pretty good. It's out at third. But that cutter's been squared up a few times today. We got some action now.
Swing and a miss by Echeverria. Right at 100 pitches for Malone. Springer was warming up last inning, so it should not take him very much time to get loose here in the 6th. Echeverria is 0 for 2. He's hit a fly ball in the left field and a fly ball to right field.
They played him pretty much straight up in the infield, but a little bit to the opposite field in the outfield. He's been a little late on some of the fly balls, so they've shaded him to the right side a bit. Pretty big swing for a little guy. Probably have to shorten up a little bit as his career continues up here at this level.
He's 0 for 5 now in his short time in the big leagues.
I'm sure Dwayne Murphy over there is in his ear quite a bit.
That one popped up, lands just inside the fence. I don't know that Norris saw it initially. Great years with the Athletics. Dwayne Murphy, the hitting coach for the Blue Jays.
Lots of adjustments for everybody when they come up to this league. Echeverria will be no different.
So 1-2. Rolls that one toward Inge, who gobbles it up, throws to second for 1. The throw to first not in time. So fielder's choice for Echeverria.
That would have been a tough double play to turn with him running down the line. I said earlier, Echeverria runs pretty well.
Now batting, number 11.
So top of the order in Rajai Davis. Davis has been tough on the A's today. A single, a double, and he has scored twice.
He made a nice play in the outfield to keep a runner off second. Having a good day.
Four for 16 in the series is Rajai Davis.
Well, you never know. They might take a chance here. 2 outs. Echeverria runs pretty good. He didn't read that first move very well by Malone, but they might put him in motion. Gets thrown out. You still got the top of the order coming up next inning.
Oh, 1 to Rajai. Does he hold up? Yes, he does, and the count evens at 1-1. 106 pitches now for Malone. 112 is his season high.
He's getting to the end of his rope here.
Carter into foul territory. Fights that sun. He's got it. Side retired. So we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 6-4 Blue Jays. Inning, it's time for the Coors Light freeze can. Coors Light freeze can is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer.
Good shots there.
Yeah, people having a good time on a very nice day. Clouds have gone away and all kinds of sunshine now. A's trying to win the series. Blue Jays, they'd like to get out of town with a split. Blue Jays will be heading to Florida. They'll have an off day tomorrow and then play the Rays in St. Petersburg Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. First pitch to Cespedes. Swing and a miss. Cespedes is 0 for 2.
Big hack there to slurvy breaking ball.
Cespedes, Carter, and Inge. That pitch was number 81 for Aaron Laffey. He's given up 6 hits.
Had that tough inning in the 3rd, but was really settled down. Got into what he does, and that's mixing it up, and he's hit some corners. He's really kept him off balance since then.
Reddick with the 3-run homer in that 3rd. That was the big hit that he allowed. Long run for the first baseman Gomes. Still on the move, and he dives right near the bullpen mound. May have got a glove on it, but cannot make the play.
That's a long run, but he sure took a good route at it. That is a long ways, and you got some sun. And if you're a hitter, you are doing the Bernie, leaning, trying to get that ball to find some grass.
Especially in this ballpark.
That is a ton of foul territory. And they shade him over in the infield, so it was even further for him to go.
2-2 pitch. A little emergency swing from Cespedes. Brandon Lyon, the big right-hander, starts to loosen up. So both managers obviously trying to stay away from their bullpen as long as they can, but
getting to that point.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Close pitch, full count.
Really nice sequences there by Laffey. Nibbled low and away. Came up and in. He's got 85 pitches right now. Line up in case he gets in trouble.
Cespedes again just reaches for it, dribbles one down the third baseline.
Well, it's good to see his wrist feels better. That first line drive to center field was tattooed. Like to see him stay in the lineup for the upcoming series.
Well, it said he hurt it when he was stealing third the other night, so it must have happened on the slide.
Well, I thought that might have been the case because he came out, it wasn't after an at-bat, it was after he got thrown out at third base. And a lot of times when you're sliding into a base, you put your hand down and can jam that wrist into the ground, especially if you're trying to slide around somebody, which was the case that night. And you can jam it pretty good. It stays with you.
So it may not look like you jammed it real hard if you show a replay. Or this was 2 pitches ago. Does he have a little grimace here?
Yeah, it's that right wrist.
Maybe
he takes it off.
10th pitch of the at-bat, and here it is. And it's driven to center. Goes. He's fighting the sun now, drifting toward to his left, and he makes the catch.
During every home game this season, the A's will sell authentic game-used and autographed memorabilia in the West Side Club of the Coliseum. Items include autographed baseballs and jerseys, game-used helmets, bats, jerseys and bases, lineup cards, and more. All items are authenticated under the MLB Authentication Program. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the Oakland A's Community Fund. Get some Ricky Henderson here.
Sure. First pitch to Carter, drops down and in.
Well, that last pitch Cespedes got was a pitch he probably could have handled, but when your top hand, which is his right hand, the one he's hurt, sometimes you have a tendency to not really get through the ball with it, and that seemed to be the case on that swing.
Very high to left field. Again, the sun an issue. Rajai Davis is under it, near the warning track. He's got it. Again, almost there. It looked like Rajai didn't see it right off the bat.
Third baseman, number 7.
Blue sky, high sky, sun. It's tough elements right now if you're an outfielder or anybody.
Arizona feel to it.
Arizona is surprisingly tough. We're just missing the wind element, and it'll be a 10-degree difficulty day.
2 outs for Inge, who's had a good afternoon. A couple of hard hit singles. Inge rolls it foul.
Well, Inge swinging early and right off the top of the foot. That does not feel good. The worst part is when they decide to run it back in on you.
Of course.
And you got to get the head out again, and that's the pitch that you have a tendency to foul off the foot. So you'll see some guys creep that front foot out of there as they're swinging.
Swing and a miss off speed. That's that pitch, Scott, and it's been 84 miles an hour all day. Is it the cutter?
It's a cutter, and he changes it. He'll add a little bit. It'll get smaller, gets on the side of it. That one even looked a little bigger break, but I think he just plays with the shape of it.
Sure.
Some guys do that, and he feels it really well, feels that pitch real well, just changes the velocity.
Hit hard. Escobar backhands, throws in time. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Aaron Laffey. He has settled in. 6-4 Blue Jays lead after 6.
got Ghost dropping a ball down. Norris comes up to pick it, but Rajay Davis from second base takes a look, sees that Norris is going to first, and knows that he's fast enough to beat that throw back from Chris Carter and beat Norris back to home plate. And with the power hitters out for the Jays, little things like that are what they're relying on, and that got him on the board first. That was a great heads-up play by Rajay Davis.
So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Evan Scribner comes in. It's been an up-and-down season for Scribner, and I don't say that statistically. I say that minor leagues to the big leagues, back and forth.
Been on the elevator.
Yes, but he's back. But all in all, he's done a nice job in his time. 12 games, 1.93 ERA.
Basically a two-pitch guy, fastball, curveball.
There's the bullpen. So since the All-Star break, the use of the bullpen has gone up. And listen, the last 2 games has skewed that number, certainly. But for the most part, with a young starting rotation, the bullpen has not necessarily been overused.
Definitely not abused. But have done a phenomenal job.
Oh, man, yeah.
Top to bottom.
Carter has it. So Anthony goes on 1 pitch. He's retired. So A.J. Griffin, who left the game in the 2nd inning yesterday, placed on the disabled list. So that brings up the name of Brandon McCarthy, who last night, rehab start, went 6 innings and threw 73 pitches. Pitched well, struck out 9. So there's a real good chance that McCarthy will get penciled into Griffin's spot, which will be Friday in Chicago. That certainly makes the most sense. That has not been made official. But McCarthy came out, felt fine. The A's will probably wait and have him do 1 more bullpen session just to
before they make it official, but it definitely makes the most sense.
So he'll have a bullpen session this week if he comes out of it all right. And pretty good chance that McCarthy will take the spot of Griffin. And Brandon Inge stayed with it as best he could, had a circle around the security guard, could not quite come up with it.
That looked like an episode of Wipeout for a minute there. He was battling the sun. He had to go over the mound. He had a rogue security guard.
It had the potential.
Well, you got that mound and you're fighting the sun, and you see that he hits the security guard probably to keep him out of the way, and that ball with the little wind here might have moved a little bit just because it swirls in here. That was a long way to go and looked slightly limpy on that. Could be because he bounced that ball off his foot prior at bat.
Johnny Gomes not going to get it. So Edwin Encarnacion continues to rip the baseball as he has a double.
Well,
so
the pitch before,
2 for 3.
The pitch before they just got away with because it was one he could have hit a long ways. Well, curveball, pretty good size, but you just don't want to start that thing up so it stays and comes down right in the happy zone of Mr. Encarnacion, and he makes you pay for it. Got to get those balls definitely in the lower half of the zone against guys like that.
First pitch to Escobar is up and in. Escobar, a big 2-run single in the 5th inning. He hits one high, left field line, foul territory. Rosales is under it, and he makes the catch and then tumbles to the ground, but gets back up quickly.
Well, Gomes is, Inge is really struggling a little bit.
Yeah, he's walking very slow.
Really hurting, and he had to go break after another one. And thankfully, he had Rosie right there. He's giving him the way to go. Thanks for the help.
Kelly Johnson.
And Rosie fighting the sun. That is a tough one, and he's had to fight it a few times today. Makes the grab there.
So 2 outs. Here's Kelly Johnson. I'm going to keep an eye on Brandon Inge, Scott. He's not moving quite as well as normal. He seems to.
That left foot is really.
He's walking gingerly. Curve, swing and a miss.
Well, it's tough to push off. It's your left foot, so now he's got to break to his right. Your tendency, without even knowing it, your instinct is to push off of that left foot, and I bet you it hurt twice. He had to break hard and then sustain a run.
Bat goes flying toward the on-deck circle, and that's a swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout. So the Blue Jays strand a runner. 7th inning stretch coming up. 6-4 Jays. And at the age of 45, he becomes the oldest player in Major League history to hit both a triple and a double in the same game. And that was July 27th. Julio Franco hit a triple at the age of 46. And way back in 1929, Nick Altrock hit a triple on the last day of the 1929 season. For the Senators, he was 48 years old. So Omar Vizquel, he can do it all, man. Look at this. I'm going to warm up the pitcher. So
you can
Omar, 45 years old.
You can put those hands anywhere.
Well, and you know what's great about Omar is he always has a good time.
Oh, man. He's got energy and love for the game.
And he just has fun.
Be exciting to see what he ends up doing when he's done.
Well, be a good guy to grab and say, hey, go work with some of my young middle infielders, huh?
What a bag of tricks. A deep one.
Yeah.
Great guy. I always enjoy playing against him.
So bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher, Brandon Lyon. His first pitch is a strike to Norris. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Lyon coming over that big trade from the Houston Astros. Good ERA at 2.76.
Big bodied guy. Throws pretty hard. Basically 3-pitch stuff. He'll throw a cutter off his fastball, but he's got a curveball about 80 miles an hour, and he'll throw a change, but mainly he's fastball, curveball, and mix that cutter in quite a bit.
Bullpen has not been good overall this year, but better lately for the Blue Jays, and pretty good in this series with all the work they've had to put in. Even yesterday, 4 shutout innings, and there's a strikeout of Norris.
And he didn't stick around. He got him 0-2, and he just dropped the hammer on him. 0-2 pitch. Sometimes you want to waste one or nibble a little bit. He comes right at him with a hard breaking ball. Good pitch. Tight. Some depth. Norris was fooled.
Well, Lyon pitched in the 15-inning game, as just about everybody did. And he threw 2 innings, threw 21 pitches. Did not pitch yesterday.
Pretty good sink and run in that fastball, too. That ball really seemed to dive out. You could see a catcher there not get his glove over. Mathis kind of chased it out. It's always a sign of a pretty good action on that fastball.
Well, you saw the graphic which said bullpen struggles, but lately been better. Now, we saw Delabar in this series, and you commented a couple times how good his stuff is. And this guy's a quality reliever, so they have made a couple trades. Francisco Cordero, who was their closer, he was not having a very good year. He was traded to the Astros. Line drive for Adam Rosales. And Rosie's going to head into second, and he's going to have a double. So Echeverria was playing, but even with the bag, he dove backhand for it, could not come up with it.
Well, Rosie gets a ball up and kind of has an uppercut approach. You got to swing like this. His hands start high, and instead of coming down through it, he has a bit of a loop to it. And if you do that, you got to get really on top of it with your other hand, and he makes sure he gets on top, rolls that top hand over, and really clobbers that ball. And part of the reason I think he got by Echeverria was just the spin. That's a top spin winner down the line.
Yep.
To get it past that kid, you hit it hard.
So here's Weeks. Weeks takes the first pitch strike. So the A's a chance to inch closer. They trail 6-4.
I don't know if he was just showing bunt or if he was actually going to bunt, because it was a pretty good one to do something with. Might have been just looking at one.
Drops low. I'm not sure bunting here would go over too well in the dugout.
I think it was a drag bunt. I doubt. I mean, he would probably be in trouble if he turned around and sacrificed in this situation. But he could be drawing in the young third baseman Echeverria just to give him some more options.
1-1. Weeks hits a pop-up foul. Will reach the chairs.
The further he comes in at third, the more options you have if you hit the ball the other way to get a ground ball to get through. And for a little guy like Weeks, that's a smart part of his game, which is a small ball game.
Outfield shallow for Weeks. Jamal, a walk and a ground out so far today. And that one in on the hands, he fouled it back. For the series, Weeks is 4 for 11. One of those 4 hits, a triple.
Big triple. He's had some quality at bats. He's seeing some pitches, doing some things that I know Chili and the gang in there are glad to see. Like to get him back at that 2-hole eventually.
Swing and a miss.
Tough pitch by Lyon. That's that good breaking ball.
So 2 outs here in the 7th inning. We got in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. Go deep with Sportsnet Center. It's brought to you by AT&T Uverse, and it's this evening at 6 o'clock, and it's over on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We'll have highlights from this game all around Major League Baseball. Great races going on. Latest from the Olympics in London. The NFL goodies. It'll be Scott Reese and David Feldman at the anchor desk. So here's Coco Crisp at the top of the order. Coco swing and a miss. 78 miles per hour.
Well, probably not what he was looking for. First pitch, man in scoring position, but he couldn't hold up. Ended up swinging at a pitch in the dirt. And it was a pretty good breaking ball. He's got some action to it because he's really locked up Norris. Saw what he did to Weeks, and there he gets Coco to chase as well.
That one drilled down the right field line, and that's fair. Rosales will score, and Coco comes through with a 2-out RBI double at 6-5. So first hit of the afternoon for Coco Crisp, and it's a big one.
Huge hit for the A's right here. 2 out. They needed another run to kind of make this thing a close ball game, and he gets another breaking ball, but this one was not quite as tight. Didn't have the downward action the other it is. He stays through it nice. It stays up in the zone just a little bit. Drops the head on it. Hits it down in the corner. Stand up double. Big 2-out hit there for Coco Crisp.
So Coco gets RBI number 26. And now the A's a chance to tie it. First pitch to Johnny Gomes is a strike.
Well, Johnny's been aggressive all game so far, and I think he was thinking, okay, he's going to throw me a breaking ball right here, and he got a fastball right there, and I'm sure he's kicking himself for not being ready for it. I'm surprised, actually, they didn't throw him a breaking ball because he's been so aggressive.
There is the breaking ball, but it's down and away. Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, trying to do his best to keep Coco close to second base. Coco's such a terrific base runner.
Yeah, that's that cutter right there. He just broke out line. He's throws it a little harder, a little shorter break. Still's got some pretty good tilt to it.
Again, Gomes lays off 2-1. Left-hander warming up out in the bullpen. Looks like Aaron Luke.
Luke's got an at-bat under his belt this series.
What does that tell you?
One of those series.
Gomes pop up, foul territory. And that'll be back amongst the fans to even the count 2-2. Still just the bottom of the 7th inning.
Jay's got pretty good shift on Gomes in the infield. Johnson slid over. Echeverria is catching the line a little bit.
Another good take by Johnny, and it's a full count. Reddick will be next.
That's a really, really good take here because this ball, this is that good curveball. When he's right, that's where he wants it. And that is a tough pitch to lay off of, especially with 2 strikes. I'm sure they're going to discuss what they want to do right now, and he might get another one of those. They got a base open. Lefty in the pen. He got Reddick coming up next. They're going to make sure that they approach this thing right. They both look down at the pen. I'm betting Mathis said, let's make a quality pitch right here.
This, if you're lying, I'm sure you know if you don't get this guy, you're out of the game.
Exactly right. You don't want to give in.
Yep.
You're going to make your pitch right here, make him chase something.
Got him. He stayed with the breaking ball, and Gomes could not lay off that time. He swings and misses. Coco Crisp with an RBI double. 6-5 Jays after 7. By Hyundai. Hyundai Sunday is brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. Another tight ball game. The Jays have stormed back to take the lead 6-5 with 2 in the 4th and 3 in the 5th. But we know what the late innings has meant to the Athletics this season. So maybe they got him right where they want him. Let's see. Brandon Inge, this was his 6th inning at bat. Now watch the ball hit his left foot. Right.
Squarely on top of that bone, kind of on your foot. That is painful.
And he's been limping around a little bit, but he's in there.
Sogard looked like he was maybe getting ready in case he couldn't make it out there. It's definitely bothering him. But he's an ex-catcher. He's a tough guy, and deep down he knows it's probably a bruise, but sometimes bone bruises are as bad as anything.
So basically what you're saying is, if he had never played catcher in his life, he'd probably be out of the game.
I'm partial to catchers.
All right, I'm used to that.
You're used to that, exactly right.
That. So
we're a little more prideful.
Because you probably have more bruises than any other position player.
He's a little removed from the catching, but when it's in your blood, it's in your blood.
What was the worst thing about catching?
Getting hit.
Yeah, I mean the foul tips. You mean
getting hit? Yeah, in the hands, and then the hurry up. Oh, you okay? You okay? The umpire, you ready? Let's go.
No, not really.
No sympathy. The inside of the legs were really bad.
Oh.
Stingy.
Rosales, tough play from the hole. He throws it a bit high, but big Chris Carter, all 6'5" of them, makes the play. So Mathis is retired, 6'3".
That's a great.
Scary, Scott. Let me get the Chevron pitching matchup in for tomorrow's game. Weaver and Parker. Look at the record for Jared Weaver, folks. 14-1. So Weaver, Parker tomorrow night. Join us at 6:30 for A's pregame live. It's going to be a great series. The Angels lost today 4-2. There's sunball for Rosales, but looks like he's got this one, and he does. So Gomes is retired.
Well, that previous play, I was going to say, Inge didn't quite get over, and I think Rosie knew it, and he might have shaded over a little bit because it's a ball that I think Inge might at least go after a little bit better. But with his sore foot and limited range right now, Rosie kind of helped him out. Ball's hit on the ground here between them both, but Inge gingerly going out. He just can't.
Yeah.
He just can't get there like he normally would. And
almost
Rosie
like he can't push off.
Right. It really hurts him to keep going in the push off. So he didn't get quite the range that he normally does. And Rosie kind of knew it and shaded over there. And that was a tough throw, tough play.
Line drive, Coco coming in, and he'll play it on the hop. So Moises Sierra is 2 for 4. So here's Echeverria. It looks like they're going to pinch hit for him. And they are. It's going to be David Cooper, left-handed hitter.
Your attention, please.
Cooper is the guy who hit the home run in the 9th inning yesterday to tie it up.
Number 30, David Cooper.
Cooper swinging the bat pretty well in the last 4 games. He's 5 for 15. With the big hit you said off Cook last night.
So Cooper will pinch hit for Echeverria. Still warming up in the bullpen is the left-hander Loop for the Jays.
Scribner's not really quick to the plate. Got a pretty pronounced leg kick.
That's the home run that tied it in the 9th inning. And it was a changeup to Cooper.
Cookie doesn't throw many changeups, and it's definitely his 3rd best pitch. So it's a little surprising in a 1-run game you break something out like that. And I think some of it could be the new catcher maybe calling some things, but Cook's got to know himself better than that.
Can always shake it off, right?
Always shake it off. Goes on the back of your baseball card.
Fastball. Cooper lines it into the seats. Foul off the auxiliary scoreboard down the left field line. Hits now for the Blue Jays after the Sierra single. The A's have 8.
Possible time to run here. A's thought so. Pitched out on that. 0-2 count.
Not running, and that one's lined. Left field, base hit. Again, Gomes has to hustle to cut it off. He does. Sierra digging for 3rd. He'll make it. And Cooper has a base hit. And the runners are at 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. And now we go to the top of the order.
Nice short approach there by Cooper. 1-2 count. Kind of in a hole right here. Ball's up and away. Very short. Hits it extremely hard. That's a great 2-strike approach. Not probably exactly where Scribner wanted it, but that is getting on top and being short to the ball. That's how you teach it right there.
So Kurt Young trots out, checks in with his right-hander Scribner. Inning and 2/3 so far for Scribner. He's given up 3 hits. Boy, you just do not want to give that run back that you got in the bottom of the 7th.
I don't know if it's just mental or not, but a 1-run game and a 2-run game are just the night and day apart.
In the dirt, swing and a miss by Davis.
Good block there by Norris. Well, this is what he does really well. You want your pitcher to have confidence in burying it. He's so big, but he's soft. He's soft with it. Some guys can be hard to the ball. He was a little late there. I'd like to see him get down a little bit earlier with his glove.
Carter, a couple steps into foul territory. He's got it. Side retired. So Scribner gets out of it. A couple runners stranded. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Reddick's going to lead it off. He's already got a 3-run homer in the game. A's down by 1.
No way!
Let's check out our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. This was Reddick in the 3rd inning, and that gave the A's a 4-1 lead. The Blue Jays got a big home run of their own from Encarnacion. They made it 4-3. That was in the 4th inning. And then Johnson, bloop single. That was part of a 3-run 5th inning. So the Blue Jays grabbed the lead thanks to those 3 runs. A's got a run back in the 7th. So back and forth this afternoon here at the Coliseum. 6-12-0 for Toronto, 5-8-0 for the A's. That is your game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Aaron Loop comes in, the left-hander. He'll face Reddick, Cespedes, and Carter. First pitch is a strike to Reddick. So Luke was the losing pitcher in the game on Friday night, 15 innings. Gomes is now at 3rd. Cooper is now at 1st. Gomes moves from 1st to 3rd. Echeverria is out.
Cooper over at first base. That base hit.
Reddick, a big bouncer. Second base, Johnson handles in between hot, and Reddick is retired for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, Reddick's upset, but Loop is tough versus lefties. He's got that tough cross angle, that tough slider. It's just tough to pick up. Lefties are hitting 150 off him, and it's pretty obvious as to why.
The Figueroa warming up along with Doolittle out in the A's bullpen. And Brandon Lyon went 1 inning, gave up a couple of hits and a run. He did have 3 strikeouts in that 7th inning. So now Luke faces Cespedes. 6-5, Jays leading. First pitch is skied towards center. Goes. Kind of positioning his body to help him fight the sun a little bit, and he's got it. Exactly. And that's out number 2. So it's been a tough sun all day, and we've seen 2 or 3 balls. And the outfielders and infielders have really had a battle, and one was not played by Rosales, and it was a huge play in this game.
It's one of those lucky aspects of baseball. If you are able to hit it to where the sun play is a big factor, you're going to get a hit. So you're at nature's mercy at some points today.
So Carter hits with 2 outs. He's hit a fly ball to left field, a fly ball to center field, and a fly ball to right field. Up and away, 2-0.
He's got Steve Delabar up in the pen.
Three 3-0 now with Inge in the on-deck circle. And that one called a strike. Didn't have to be. Down and away, but Luke gets the call. So now Carter will go to work with a 3-1 count.
Well, if you're the Jays, you got to be careful here. Big Chris Carter has shown he can drive one, and they are.
Lays off for the walk. Just the second walk issued by Jays pitchers.
We're going to make a change.
Yep. The manager, John Farrell's coming out, and it's going to be Big Steve Delabar. So Delabar coming in to face Inge. Runner on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The 8th inning. The A's have the tying run at first. That's Chris Carter, and the new pitcher is Steve Delabar, who we have been impressed with in this series.
He's been absolutely lights out versus left-handers. But he was getting both sides out last outing. He's got a really good split finger.
First pitch to Inge. Runs inside. Delabar pitched on Thursday and pitched on Saturday. He did not pitch in the 15-inning game. Inning and a third yesterday. He threw 33 pitches. So he's back out there today.
Big guy with a big arm. Throws it 95, 94. Got an 85-mile-an-hour split.
Well, you're thinking, well, 33 pitches is a lot. And he's back out there the next day. But really, John Farrell saying, you need to give me 1 out. That's it. 2-0 pitch, strike outside corner, and it's 2-1. Inge with 2 singles and a ground out. He has scored a run. And
tough pitch.
Gets the call. I don't know if that was on the swing or the pitch. Bullpen has allowed a lot of home runs. A's could use one right here. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He went with a fastball. In, strikes out, side retired, and we are moving to the 9th inning. Jays hanging on to a 6-5 lead.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. And by Jack in the Box. Get the all-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores.
9th inning from the O.K Coliseum. Scott Hatterberg, Glenn Kuiper. Hope you're enjoying A's baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Jays with a 6-5 lead. And when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Pedro Figueroa just brought back to the big leagues today. So we shouldn't be surprised, Scott, that the two guys that the A's called back up to help out the tired bullpen, Scribner and Figueroa, both pitching today.
Well, you had to. I mean, it was out of necessity to make these moves. They needed help down there. And thankfully, they got Malone fairly deep in the game. But there are some tired arms. They brought Taylor down, position player, and added an extra pitcher. Figueroa being one of them. They need help.
Anthony Goes is the hitter. So Malone went 6 innings, gave up 6 earned runs, a walk and 4 strikeouts. Scribner went 2 innings. And now Figueroa here in the 9th inning. Couple of hits for Anthony Goes.
Figueroa is absolutely filthy versus lefties. They're only 1 for 16 off him. But the one problem is he can lose control sometimes.
Yep.
A long, loose arm. When he's throwing strikes, though, he's about as tough as they get. Lefty versus lefty.
Goals will be followed by Encarnacion and then Escobar. Casey Jansen, the Blue Jays closer, is heating up down in their bullpen. Close pitch. Call the ball, and it's 3-2.
Well, Delavar got a pretty close one last inning. I think the fans are letting them know that they wanted a pitch too.
And that one is a strike outside corner. So Figueroa 95 miles an hour, and he gets the strikeout. Make sure you join us tomorrow right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. The first of this big series between the A's and the Angels. Weaver Parker. Weaver, a 14-game winner. And that is your matchup. 6:30 A's pregame live, and then the ball game after 7. Complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSN California. TOR.com.
That should be a good one. Good arms right there tomorrow.
So Weaver, a 14-game winner, along with David Price. Price was trying to win his 15th today. He did not do that. Inge has it. Nice big hop. And that's out number 2. There's Jansen getting ready. Interesting name just came across the news wire. Unieski Betancourt was designated for assignment. Betancourt with the Kansas City Royals. Shortstop, playing a little more second base this year. Been around for a while. I have a feeling a team that maybe in a race that may be looking for a middle infield wouldn't surprise me.
Not a bad pickup.
Somebody grabs Unieski Betancourt. Was the everyday shortstop for the Brewers last year. They went to the postseason. Escobar fouls it straight back. A couple minor trades today. The Tigers acquired Jeff Baker from the Cubs. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but a lot of teams like Baker. He can play everywhere, all a bunch of different positions. And the Red Sox acquired Danny Valencia from the Twins. Remember Danny Valencia? 2 years ago, he was third in the Rookie of the Year voting for the Twins. But last year just could not get it together. Minor leagues this year, and the Red Sox got him. So Danny Valencia goes to Boston. So a couple of minor deals could have an impact.
This time of year, teams have needs. People banged up, moving around. Change of scenery sometimes brings them back to their old ways.
Yep. 2-2 pitch popped up. Gomes and Coco Crisp. Coco fighting that sun. He's got it. Side retired. Here we go, folks. Bottom of the 9th inning. Is there another walk-off in the A's future? It'll be Norris, Rosales, and Weeks.
Time now for the AT&T U-verse reverse replay. Josh Reddick getting a chance with some runners in scoring position, something he has struggled with this series. Talked to Chile just before that. Really short to the ball and a big home run for the A's. It was a really nice swing.
Leading off the bottom of the 9th inning for the Athletics.
All right, well, we'll try to give you a birthday present.
Number 36, Derek Norris.
Here's Casey Jansen. He is the closer for the Blue Jays. 2/3 of an inning yesterday for Casey Jansen, but he threw just 3 pitches. So this is the third game in a row that Jansen is pitching, and that one's drilled down the left field line, but well, foul.
Teasing us.
Yeah. That wasn't even ready for the tying home run.
Norris was ready. He was ready for that heater inside, and he absolutely crushed that ball. Just it happened to be 60 yards foul.
Moss has come out into the on-deck circle, so he's going to hit for Rosales. 0-1 to Norris. 1 for 3 with a double. A double not going to run, and that was in the second inning. Popped up. So 1-2 the count. The rally caps are out. A's need 1 to tie and 2 for another walk-off. They'll try to do it against Casey Jansen. He kicks and the 1-2 pitch. And that one's hit down the left field line. But again, Norris got out in front. Home run distance, but just got out there and hooked it.
Well, he knows what the A's need right here. And he is not too far from delivering right here. He's just making contact a little out front. Jansen got him a little out front of that one, and he hooks it just foul. Jansen's a tough one. Opponent's only hitting 190 off him this season. Well, he's a tough at bat. Norris seems to be seeing him pretty well right now.
1-2 pitch. He reaches for it, pops it up. But Jansen, he's been a mainstay in that Blue Jays bullpen for a long time. It's his 6th year, all with Toronto. He's 30 years old, but it's really his first opportunity to close games, and he's done very well with that. Long look in now. Norris wants time.
Norris fought off a good breaking ball. That last pitch, good location from Jansen, exactly where you want to put it. Just got enough of it to foul it off.
Swing and a miss. Chased the breaking ball.
Same pitch, a little bit further out, maybe a little bit more down. He couldn't get the bat to it, but he went to it pitch before. He goes to it again. This time he just moved it outside a little bit further, and he was just unable to miss-ticket it with the end of that bat. That's a filthy pitch. You got to be able to see it early and lay off it, because it's really one of those you cannot hit.
So here's Moss. So plenty of home run potential with Moss. He's got 11 on the year, but struggling some. 3 hits in his last 25 at bats. One runs down and away. Jamal Weeks in the on-deck circle. Remember, with the 2 extra pitchers the A's are carrying, they only have 3 position players, and Moss is obviously one of them. So they're down to 2, Sogard and Kataris. 3-0.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if he does get on base, what they may do as far as pinch running or not. It changes what Bob Melvin's able to do.
So 4-pitch walk puts the tying run at first with 1 out.
But they're probably going to do it in this situation. I think you got it.
Now batting, second baseman, number 19, Jamal Weeks.
So
Probably going to see Sogard come out here and run for Moss.
You're right. Here he comes. Which is probably a fairly easy move. Sogard could just go in and play shortstop if the A's tie it.
Luis Guitars is the lone bench guy.
So here's Weeks. Sogard, the pinch runner. Weeks is 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch is a strike outside corner. Weeks is also grounded out and struck out.
Well, Weeks came up big from the right side a few nights ago. Let's see if he can't do it from the left side.
Another strike, 0-2. So keeping it away from Weeks.
Went right at him, 2 pitches. Pretty much the same spot, setting up away. Pretty good pitch, outer quarter, straight heater. Now he's got options.
And he went right back to the same spot and just missed.
Weeks seems a little frozen. He seems a little coming from a dead start right now. We had talked about loads and weight shifts. Not much action, a little bit. He throws pretty hard. You have to kind of be ready. You got to, in your mind, think fastball. And I'm not so sure he felt that on those first couple pitches.
Setting up outside again. Long look to Sogard. Jamal fouls it back. Coco Crisp waiting in the on-deck circle. Well, it's the kind of year where you just anticipate the A's doing something big in the 9th inning. I'm sure they feel the same way. Good lead for Sogard, not running, and that one's lined to third. Gomes has it. He guns it to first, and they got him, and that's the ball game.
Well, that's a tough one.
So Yan Gomes started the game as the first baseman, makes a nice play, and the pinch runner Sogard gets doubled off first, and the game ends with the Blue Jays winning 6-5.
Well, he did exactly what he was throwing him away. Jansen was working him away. Weeks made an adjustment. Absolutely squares. This ball would have gone down all the way into the corner. Sogard overly aggressive, knowing he's got a good chance of scoring on a double, and especially a ball like that. And Weeks knows he did it right, did the perfect swing, just came up empty.
So the 4-game series ends in a split, and the A's get ready for the Angels. 6-5, Blue Jays win it over the Athletics. You've been watching A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Dave Benz and Greg Cadaret starts right now.